Okay, we've completed our setup and now we're ready to begin turn one. Turn one starts off without a friendly HQ event. We don't do either the friendly or the enemy HQ event on the first turn. So we're going to go straight to activating the command units. We start by confirming that the COHQ is in fact in communication with the battalion. Of course he is, because he's still sitting there in the staging area, so he's going to be activated, and we'll go ahead and get him drawn for here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and activate the commanding officer, so we'll draw one card, and not the best draw in the world. So right now the CO is sitting in the staging area. He has a -1 modifier on his command draw for being green, and currently a +1 modifier for there being no contact, so he gets his 1 draw, so 1 whopping command for the CO. And with that 1 command, we need to decide what we're going to do with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate the first platoon, and with that of course burns the CO's only command. So now we're going to activate first platoon. Okay, now that's a better draw. So first platoon again is green, so we have a -1 for green and +1 for being no contact. So first platoon is going to get 3 commands. And what we're going to do with those commands is over here. Okay, first platoon is going to go ahead and activate the first of the first and move him forward into the village. Moving him forward means that he gets an exposed marker, and that is going to use one of first platoon's commands. And that is all that the first platoon HQ is going to do, and we'll go ahead and bank the other 2 commands from first platoon. Since the CO had only 1 command and used that to activate first platoon, that's all of the activations that can happen during 3.3.1. So now we're going to move on to the initiative segment. And we're going to start the initiative segment by activating the 2nd and 3rd platoons. We'll go ahead and draw for those in order. We'll draw the 2nd platoon. And here we're going to use the 3. And again, -1 for being green, +1 for being no contact. So 2nd platoon is going to move up to 3. And then we'll draw for 3rd platoon as well. And that's quite the roll, the draw. 3. He's got a 4 there again. -1, +1, so he has a net of 4 commands. Now, being a green leader, the max commands that the platoon leader is going to be able to save this game are going to be 3. So if I don't do anything with 3rd platoon right now, I'm going to lose that command. So my intent had been to keep 3rd platoon in reserve and move 1st and 2nd up. I think what I'm going to do instead here is I'm going to take advantage of that extra command for 3rd platoon, and I'm going to go ahead and move a squad of 3rd platoon up. And I'm going to hold on to those 2nd platoon commands, and we'll keep those in reserve for another turn. So 2nd platoon is going to have 2 saved commands, and then we're going to go issue an order to the 3rd platoon. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and activate the 3rd squad of the 3rd platoon. Since right now all of the squads are the same experience level, they're pretty much interchangeable. So I'm going to move 3-3 up to the hedgerow, and again mark him as exposed because he did a move. And with that, we're actually going to be done with the activation sequence, and I'm going to bank the remainder of 3rd platoon's commands. And finally, we're going to go ahead and use our initiative to activate the XO and the 1st sergeant. And I'm not going to use either one of them for any commands this turn, so I'm just going to go and give them the 1 command they each earn. You don't draw for the command units in the initiative phase. They automatically get 1 and only 1 command available to them. Finally, we're now going to go ahead and go on to the general initiative phase. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw for the general initiative. So we draw a card. And for the general initiative, I get only 1 command, which is too bad because I've got 2 units that I've pushed out there, and I was really hoping to give both of them a shot at looking for cover. So now I've got a choice to make. Okay, so I've got 2 squads exposed, and I need to choose one of those 2 because I've only got 1 general initiative command to issue an order to. I want to go and issue a seek cover command, and right now what I'm seeing is that the 1-1 squad over here is sitting there in a +3 village, so he's actually got pretty decent cover already. The 3-3 squad over in the hedgerow is only sitting at a +2 from the front. And so since that cover is a little bit weaker, I'm going to go ahead and choose to use my general initiative command to issue him the seek cover command. So of course the way that works is when you seek cover, you're going to draw the number of cards that are indicated at the bottom up to the number of cover markers that are available on this card. So this card has a potential of 2 cover markers and has 4 card draws to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my 4 cards for that. So we've got 1, 2, you see I've already gotten my cover, 3, and 4. Now it's important to realize there that even though I got my cover on the second card, I want to go ahead and draw all of the cards every time. If I don't, I kind of screw up the mathematics of this and we screw up the distribution. So it's really important when you draw to draw all of the cards. So because I got my cover, I can go ahead and put a +1 cover marker atop that exposed unit in the hedgerow. Okay. Now, moving on through the sequence of play, I currently don't have any enemies on the board. We're done with all the initiative and all the commands. So if this were not turn 1, I would do an enemy HQ event here. I don't have any enemy HQ event during first turn. We don't have any enemies out yet, so I don't have the enemy activity check. I don't have any mutual capture or retreat. I don't have any vehicles on the board. So we're now into the mutual combat phase. There are no fire missions out there, so the next step is to go ahead and resolve the potential contacts. Now, to resolve potential contacts, you need to know the kind of contact. You need to know the current game condition. I've got 2 potential contact Cs that I've landed on. Because they're both Cs, I need to randomly choose which of the 2 I'm going to do first. And the way I do that is really simple. If I've got 2 here, I simply number them 1, 2 from left to right. And then I draw a random number on my card generator. And I drew a 2. So I'm going to go ahead and resolve this potential contact marker first. So to resolve a potential contact C when you're in no contact, you draw 4 cards and look for the word contact. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards. And you can see I do not have the word contact on top of any of those. So I've successfully dealt with that potential contact and did not expose any German units. So now we'll go ahead and come over and do the other potential contact. So again, I'm still at no contact. It's still a potential contact C. So I'm going to draw 4 cards. So again, we draw 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards. And again, no contacts on any of those. So I've actually just cleared 2 of my cards and have not exposed yet any German units. This is actually a pretty easy, lightweight start at this point. So with that, we can move. We don't have any combat to resolve because I don't have any enemies on the board. And so we skip right over the combat effects segment and we go straight to cleanup. Cleanup on this one's really simple. I'm simply going to remove the exposed markers. And once those are done, we've actually completed turn number 1.